Rochdale 13 with Alan Kilshaw, head of Barrow tomorrow. First and foremost, so good to get back to winning ways at Swinton last week. It was an impressive win. You had a chance to look back through it.
Yeah, let's say on the day, I just thought at 24-4 we could have been a little bit more clinical, and we'd finished off a few more sets there. Minute 60 to 70, I think the last 10 minutes would have been a lot more comfortable than it was, and we invited them back in the game. We've forced a pass and they've scored a try for scrum, and then we dropped a goal and not fielded the kick-off. So we just got to tidy up those little areas. Same in the first half, we score a really good try and then we don't complete the next set. But I'm being a little bit critical there. I thought, the response from the week before, and obviously to get those senior players back in there around those younger blokes, I thought it was a really good team effort, and we defended very well on the day. Like I say, a couple of kick tries, but they hammered our line quite a lot, especially in the first half, and we came up with the answers. So any 2 points at this stage is important.
And one thing you touched on after the win was that the discipline was sort of spot on, and we didn't get drawn into the game that Swinton were trying to play. That'll have to be sort of on the money tomorrow at Barrow, because they're a pretty well drilled side, but they can sort of let it slip like they did against us at Scotland.
Yeah, I think our discipline's been very good this year. There's not been many noises about it, has there? I think we've had one man sin binned all season, so I think it's been a big improvement, and we're finding that right line between aggression and discipline, and we're not overstepping that mark. And like you say, they had a man sin binned and sent off last week, and I think the penalty count was quite high, in our favour, against them. So it was a very pleasing aspect, especially in those derby games, those penalties, and those back-to-back sets, and in the heat they can tell. And like I say, we had a pretty good chat about it in the off-season, and I think we've worked on it through pre-season, and we're not always going to be perfect, but I've been really pleased with that element of our play. And
there's been a few young kids featured over the last few weeks, and you've just agreed to deal with Jack Fox, another young lad coming in. Is it sometimes a worry when you get sort of the average age of the squad drops as it has done, or is it a good thing in your opinion?
Yeah, I think if you can get those senior blokes around and they bring that enthusiasm, at the Bash it probably went against us, but I think at Dewsbury it didn't. I think as a coach and with the budget we've got, you've got to be a little bit of a prospector. You're looking for gold at times, and I think we've done all right this year. Dion, Setter, Tyler all coming from amateur. Jack Fox hasn't played for 18 months, and he was really good last week. Obviously he won't feature tomorrow. He's on a course with work. Just unfortunate timing. Before we agreed to deal with him, before we agreed to come down. But I thought Jack went well last week, and the more he plays with us, the better he's going to get.
And on to Barrow then. Obviously we beat them earlier in the year at Scotland, but they're a totally different prospect at Craven Park. Where do the threats lie and what have you spotted?
Yeah, look, I think they've only won one more game than us, but they've had those 3 draws. Look, they're tough at home. We know they're tough at home. We've been there before and we've won, and we know how hard it is to get those points. We've had a week off last week. They looked a bit shot at the Bash, which is understandable. They've gone hard, but they've got some quality players. Dallymore's, really come to in the last couple of seasons, really matured as a halfback, and he's converted that into the Championship. Probably one of the best halves in the Championship this year. We know Jono, great player, really good player for us in the season we went up. The effort he put in that final when he played on one leg, and also last year he had a few injuries, but obviously he came back and was a big part of us staying up. And then everyone's talking about Bullock, another really good player, front rower, and they've got some other forwards there and some experience in Stack, and a couple of good nines as well. So they're a well balanced side, and it's not been a surprise to me that they've done well. They're a well coached side, and they've made that a real fortress at home, and that's the challenge for us tomorrow. We have beaten them at home, and they'll be smart from that. They can look at a couple of things sending off. Obviously Dallymore didn't play that day as well, so we've got to go there and show it wasn't a one-off and it wasn't a fluke.